Hello, shipmates, and I do mean shipmates. As Ombudsman, you are part of our team, our command team. First of all, I want to thank you for volunteering your precious time to being an Ombudsman, to helping us out and making sure that the unit can function as it really needs to. What you are is a key and critical part of unit readiness. You're doing family readiness. And if we don't have good family readiness, we cannot have good unit combat readiness.
Speaking of readiness, service, you all know about your family members and their service to their country. But I want to speak to you about the service that you are providing to your country and your Navy. Both John and I are so appreciative of that. And I just want to tell you all, those of you that are starting up with being Ombudsman and those of you that have already served as Ombudsman, you are all amazing.
What this is about for me is creating a network that will get us good communications. With that communications, what you'll have is an informed family. If we have an informed family, we have empowered families. And with empowered families, we have resilience. And that's what we really need as we execute our missions. So thanks again for what you're volunteering to do or are doing. And enjoy the course, get involved. We'll see you out there, and thanks for your service.
The Command Ombudsman is an official command representative.
Most importantly, we are a link for the families. We are the liaison between the command and the families themselves.
If a family needs assistance or just general information, they can contact the Ombudsman.
Making sure that information is disseminated properly and that the families have somebody to voice their concerns to and make sure that it gets back to the command, so that we have a better command climate and everybody's voice is heard.
It's to be a source of information for families, as well as to be there in times of need and just to be somebody to talk to.
They have a conduit to the squadron for any concerns they have or any questions, especially when we're deployed and geographically separated.
The Ombudsman is there as a reliable and trustworthy source of information to make sure that the right message is put out to the people who need it.
We ask our sailors and our families to go through a lot, and the fact that they have an Ombudsman that can point them in the right direction when things aren't going well is comforting, not only to the family members but also to the sailors.
Everything we do in the Navy comes down to combat efficiency. We can't, however, be combat effective and be efficient in what we do unless we have people who are not overly worried about what's going on back home.
They know that mission is important and mission comes first. So when they deploy, knowing that they have somebody there for them to assist their families and help them with anything they need gives them the comfort in knowing that they can do their jobs.
They have the peace of mind that their family's taken care of, that where they can deploy safely, they can deploy confidently, knowing that whenever the need arises, and it's a when, not an if, their needs will be met.
We had 6 command ombudsmen because it was an aircraft carrier, and we were on back-to-back deployments with the change of home port. The command ombudsmen were vital during the deployments and the change of home port, and they were part of the success not only of the mission but also the change of home port.
The Ombudsman isn't going to fix a problem necessarily, but they know the resources to fix those problems. That right there allows the sailor who is deployed and is working 18, 20-hour days to put his or her mind into the mission and know that somebody is taking care of his family.
The skills that are necessary to become an ombudsman is first and foremost to have the desire to help others and to be an effective communicator and be willing to learn new things.
An ombudsman needs to be very approachable. They need to be a good communicator. They're going to be communicating with command leadership, with service members, with families. They need to be knowledgeable of the resources that are available, both military and community.
It is a 24/7 job. If the phone goes off at 2 in the morning because somebody's been in an accident or somebody needs help, you will be answering that phone call.
They should be a good listener. You're going to spend a lot of time listening as an ombudsman.
They have to be compassionate. They have to be somebody who truly cares.
It's a great opportunity to serve others and to get to know them better. I've met a lot of great people doing this, and I've also gotten to learn a lot of the resources that have benefited my family.
Being led into the families, into their love, into something very special, monumental in their lives is an amazing reward, knowing that they trust you and they confide in you. And this is an amazing feeling, knowing that you can be called at any time to be there for them.
Just the fact that we're able to help our sailors and our families, and just getting the satisfaction of knowing that whatever the situation is, we actually can help them navigate it and work through it.
I think the personal reward is knowing that you've made a difference in someone's life, whether you hear from them ever again or not, whether they ever come up and say thank you, or, thank you for helping me get through that, I couldn't have done it without you. You don't really need that. You just know when you hang up that phone, you've made a difference.
Well, one of the number one tools that I use is the Fleet and Family Support Center. They have so much information you can find, whether it be a budgeting class, whether it be a new baby, whether it be managing anger issues or stress, anything you can find at the Fleet and Family, and everything is free.
The tools and resources for us are endless, down from Fleet and Family Services to our Ombudsman coordinators, to our Ombudsman assembly chairs, to school liaison officers. I mean, it's endless, and it's such a wonderful collaboration of all these resources together, and the support of our command is phenomenal.
Other great resources are other ombudsmen. They may have encountered a similar experience or have great advice, as well as social media. It's a great way to get information out to the families, as well as pass along community events.
We have our manual. We have Ombudsman Basic Training, which is what we all go through prior to being actual ombudsmen. And then we also have Fleet and Family, where the ombudsman coordinators are just absolutely amazing subject matter experts in everything that you could need to know. We have multiple resources out in the community and just, toolkits out there for us that we can build upon and make our own for our program.
You have to maintain the confidentiality. You have to make sure that you support your mission or support the mission of the command that you're with. It's maintaining professionalism. It's making sure that you're speaking to everyone in the chain of command.
When somebody calls or emails us with a problem or issue, they're not going to have to worry that we're going to release their information. We're going to be professional. We're going to help them through it.
No one's perfect, we're all human, but when you live within the boundaries of the code of ethics, I think you're going to be a successful ombudsman, and it is paramount that you really do support and live by your code of ethics in your time as an ombudsman.
Families can be assured that their information will remain confidential, and I will respond to them in a professional way. I'm not going to forget about their call and forget to pass it on. I'm going to make sure that their problems are important and will be passed on.
Ombudsmen serve as advocates for our command families. They are a communication link between the leadership, the service members, and the family, all the way from the commanding officer down to that new spouse who's new to the military altogether. They provide information and resources to those families to help navigate their day-to-day lives as military families.
They are the official command volunteer. They are the liaison between the command and the families. And it's not a matter of if something happens, it's truly a matter of when.
We support the ombudsman from the time they are new to the fleet to throughout their career as an ombudsman. We provide Ombudsman Basic Training. We provide advanced training that's a little more specific, helping them hone in their skills, whether it's on as a newsletter or building professionalism, code of ethics, things like that. We also support the Ombudsman Assembly Chair and advise and assist the local assembly on information and what would be best to train our ombudsman to help them continue in that education to support the families.
I support the ombudsman by being there as an advisor and a consultant, and really making sure that the ombudsman has all he or she needs to be successful at what they do.
When a command contacts Fleet and Family as an ombudsman coordinator, we provide support, whether it's through training new ombudsmen and Ombudsman Basic Training, support for pre-deployment briefs.
I love to do pre-deployment briefs. I love to do command indocs where I can talk to the sailors and hopefully at the pre-deployment briefs, their family members, and tell them the importance of the command ombudsman and their role.
Ombudsman can also provide support during a deployment to a command. We keep the Ombudsman armed with up-to-date resources that are available to commands. Fleet and Family Support Center also maintains an up-to-date list of ombudsmen in the area, so that in the event a family member needs to reach an ombudsman, they can contact the center and find their ombudsman.
It's important for the ombudsman to attend advanced trainings and assembly meetings because it's at that time that they can network. They're kept abreast on current issues and any changes that have come down the pipe.
Ombudsmen should continually hone their skills as an ombudsman and sharpen those tools that we provide them through Ombudsman Basic Training. The Navy is an ever-evolving world, and military families need that support, so it's important for them to stay up to date on policies, changes in procedures, changes in information and benefits that are available, up-to-date resources. It's important for them to be able to support their commands and their families effectively. They have to stay up to date in training.